I'll figure this out. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, damn it. Hold on. Okay, so usually...
Oh, we're recording now. Hi.
Oh, I'm keeping that in.
Your room looks so clean.
Okay, so usually I start with like talking with... You can face the camera if you want.
Okay, sorry.
I'm facing at an angle, so I'm looking at myself.
Okay. I'm looking at myself too. I think I look okay.
So usually I start off...
Purple Rain, my favorite album. Oh, let me shut the fuck up. What's that?
You sound like my mother every time she talks about Prince.
I have to talk to your mother more. So we can
Oh, my mother loves Prince.
Does she really? Oh my god.
This woman called me crying when he died.
Yeah.
And I thought that somebody had in our family had died.
Yeah, it was a big day. My mom and my stepmom both were like, oh my god. And I was just like, yeah, miss that man.
So usually
okay.
I start this off with like talking about some sort of book or something that I've read. And I told you about it. I don't have time to read. So I went on to Ask Reddit and I don't know why I just put food in my mouth.
That's really cute setup.
Thank you. I think this will work. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's a work in progress, people.
As we all are. Happy Pride.
I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure y'all can hear us. This is not the best setup. Okay, we're not prepped for in person. Question is, what do you say to an unwanted door salesman? No.
We don't want any?
Don't open the door. Not interested. Have a good day. Me. Hey, I'm kind of busy right now. Why don't you write down your home address and I'll come talk to you when I'm free? Salesman. I don't give out my address. Me. Why? You don't want random people showing up and asking you questions? Now I know how you feel. Open the door and say, you got any money?
Do you?
What sound does an unopened door make? Because that one. Orgy doesn't start till 8.
Yeah, but you want to show up a little bit like 30 minutes afterwards, so that's when it gets really good.
Why do you know this?
Who doesn't know this?
Ignore the screaming coming from the basement.
Or don't. You could join them.
I don't think that's talking about an orgy at that point.
I know.
Okay. You know what? I'm leaving that one where it's at. I'm leaving that one where it's at. I don't know what episode this is. I don't know. I know our name is You're Being Too Loud. I'm going to put this here instead of at the end. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Honestly, at this point, any rating on Spotify and Apple, whatever platform you listen to us on. And send us funny stories, please.
Available everywhere.
We actually are. And we didn't know it. Stop reading things.
Okay.
Okay.
He was the best character in that show. I'm sorry. The Umbrella.
Ben?
Yes. Umbrella.
I haven't seen past season 1.
I haven't seen past season 3. Was there like 4 seasons?
They're coming out with a new season.
Are they?
I think so. So this comes off of Petty Revenge. It is unsolicited pictures. I think not.
Oh.
I'm not sure where this goes. Sorry for the formatting in advance. I don't have a laptop. It all began during my last year of school. As an 18-year-old senior in a small town, I was pretty well known as one of the only gay kids in school.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty important because it attracted the attention of more than just my classmates. Considering I was of age, I had gone downtown, I had downloaded Grindr. Before, I had people texting me on my personal phone number asking me lewd questions or sending unwanted pictures. One of these guys was very adamant and sent me about 30 texts a day, usually with 4 or 5 pics. Usually I just had to say, I'm not 18 or something that involved the words, call the police, and it would stop. Not this guy. He harassed me for almost 2 years. I put in multiple complaints, but nothing stopped. The police didn't take me seriously, but one day I was given a wonderful gift from the heaven. The perpetrator was working at my school as a janitor. I let the guy know I was at this school without ever saying a word to him. He knew always watching around the corners or just happening to be there in the same places near me. Near the middle of the year, my plan had started to take action. The texts never stopped, just as I figured, but this time they were on Grindr. So one day he texted me, his name was CP, creepy guy, and I will be me. The texts are more or less a memory at this point, but I'll do my best. CP, hey me, hey. CP, hey, me, hey. Don't you work at my school? CP, yeah, LOL. I wasn't sure you'd respond. Me, why, CP? Why? CP, I don't know. LOL. Want to see a picture? I knew at this point I couldn't say anything that would implicate me, but I had to prompt him. I thought very carefully. Me, oh, CP, sends picture of his face. Me, oh, LOL. CP, what? Ha ha ha. Me, I don't know what I'd be. I didn't know what it'd be of. CP, do you want another? I ignored him at that point, knowing I had him right where I wanted. Of course, he thought with the wrong head, so he sent me the last picture. The very next day, I went straight to the principal and the superintendent. They were livid. They called the police, and he was escorted out of off the premises, and I never heard from him again. But I heard pleading from his friends. They were not happy, and they made sure that to show it. But hey, now nobody from my hometown sends me unwanted pics of anything anymore, and that's just fine with me.
What did you think was going to happen? Like, if you work at a school, and you're sending pics to a student, do you think that they're not going to tell the people? Like, I feel like at a certain point, you know whether or not somebody wants you or whether or not you got. Like, I feel like if he wasn't a very good predator. He was fucking stupid. Like,
he wasn't a good predator.
It sucks. Cause like you at a certain point, it's like this kid obviously doesn't want me. So why? By the way, he deserves to be in jail. Fuck him. But I'm just saying, like, from a logical standpoint, you would think that you'd be a little bit more.
So some comments
after 2 years.
So some comments are, how did the police not take it seriously? Surely you showed them the texts and pictures, and if you were underage, they should have moved immediately. It's terrible they didn't. I'm glad you managed to get him to stop. His friends just sound bad, angry at you for defending yourself with him not taking a minor. Principal, school admin is your pal. Principal, guideline or rule?
That was a question?
No, they just said principal, school admin, who is your quote unquote pal. Principal, guideline or rule?
I just ill.
I don't know what that was all about.
Ill. Just ill. I don't, and another thing, for 2 years, like, but that sounds about accurate, because it's like, for some reason, people just don't know how to take no for an answer.
Also, I just want to point out real quick that Kabir is gay. And I'm not outing him.
Bisexual, by the way. But yes.
He is, yes, he's bisexual. Nor am I outing him. He has a whole boyfriend. I'm not outing him. I'm just making it a fact known that we are both bisexuals here, so we're able to talk on this, because I don't know, the internet is crazy. I guarantee you, if
Happy Pride. But I don't know. I've had experiences where like people I've never been a grinder girl, never been a grinder person ever, not a dating apps person. Never even had a picture up on any of the
Okay, that's
apps.
a lie. You were on Tinder.
I was on Tinder, but Tinder
That's a dating app.
No, baby. Grinder is a hookup app.
I know Grindr is a
Tinder
hookup
is
app.
no. For queer people, Tinder is a dating app. For straight people, Tinder is a hookup app. Okay. So I had my pictures up on dating apps like Hinge and Tinder. But as far as Grindr, that was just never my thing. I was always too scared. I always thought I would get kidnapped. But I don't know.
Like, and maybe I'm wrong with this, but I always thought of Grindr as like strictly males.
Yeah, I mean, there's trans people there too, but like, you know,
well, male presenting.
Yeah, male presenting. But there's a lot of trans women on there. There's a lot of there's even some. I've seen a few cis women on there a couple of times, which is interesting. I don't think that's the right field. No, but, you know, people are open.
Well, I only asked because I know I use Tinder as a hookup app for both men and women. So that's what I was saying. I don't.
Were you ever on the lesbian apps?
I didn't know that there were lesbian apps until I was in my relationship.
Kind of happens that way, I guess. Oh,
I had no idea that there were lesbian apps until I got on TikTok.
We find out everything through TikTok though. Like,
it was so sad, dude. I was like, there were lesbian apps.
Oh, there sure were. There sure were. I
had no idea.
I knew a few. I have a few friends who were on that.
I had no idea. None. Okay.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So this is off of r/am I the asshole?
Oh, perfect. Chances are you probably are. Because
you're about to get so angry. Am I the asshole for telling my husband our son was gay?
I mean, yes, but yeah, but I kind of want to know the context because 98% of the time that is pretty fucked up. I've been cursing this entire time. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I, 32 female, caught my son, 15 male, cuddling with his friend, 15 male, while they were sleeping in their room. I decided not to wake them up, and I discussed it with my husband, 34 male, and the possibility that our son might be gay came up. While I initially agreed with my husband's suggestion to approach our son when his friend left, I decided that we should wait until our son was comfortable sharing this with us. Mm-hmm. My husband argued, what if he never tells us that he's gay? I told my husband if he doesn't tell us that he's gay, then he's probably not. I told him that we should let our son know that we love him regardless and leave it at that. However, my husband went against our agreement and questioned our son about his sexual orientation while I was driving my son's friend home. When I returned home, I discovered my son in tears, yelling and accusing me of outing him. I was confused and told my son that I didn't know what he was talking about. My son told me while he was crying that his father revealed what I saw, basically cornered him into coming out before he was ready. My son asked me why I would tell his father and why would I enter his room without his permission. I started crying and told my son that I was very sorry and that I loved him and accepted him no matter what. My son remained distant and is now refusing to speak with me and his father. When I confronted my husband, I told him that I was angry that he threw me under the bus. He claimed he didn't mean any harm, only shared what I mentioned to our son, hoping it'll make him comfortable about coming to us. Despite his pleas for forgiveness, I can't help but feel anger towards him, knowing my son is feeling hated for something that I actively tried to prevent. Oh, burps suck when you just drink something carbonated. My husband argues that blaming him for our son's emotions is unfair and told me our son is only going through an emotional phase and it will pass. Despite him begging for my son and my forgiveness, telling us that he meant no harm, I'm torn between forgiving him because I blame him for causing our son to be angry with me.
Okay, so rule number one, um,
Knock on doors. I'm sorry. I get it. You're kid and whatever. Knock on bedroom doors.
yes.
You're never gonna listen. Just knock.
Do you remember from the Fairly Odd Parents when they were like, the parents would be like, I'm accepting your privacy by knocking, but asserting my authority by coming in anyway. That's probably
what should have happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, like parents are gonna knock, but they're still gonna come in. It's just, but my thing is, if your child or son, daughter, whoever does not want to come out, if they feel like they're not ready to come out, it's probably because you kind of did a shitty job of creating a safe environment for them to come out to you. And I was thinking that when when she was talking about, hey, we're gonna accept him regardless, let's just wait. That's probably that's probably why your child would not be comfortable coming to you, because
so here's the thing
that something
I don't think the son would have had an issue with coming out to his mom.
No, not at all. Well, I mean,
I think the father, I think he wouldn't have, because he knew that his mom would tell his dad.
Mm-hmm.
But it is his dad at the end of the day that's causing the main.
Yeah. And but
on top of that, he could have been figuring out his sexuality.
Mm-hmm, yeah, because telling us like, oh yeah, well that's another thing. Like, he might not even really be gay. He might just be experimenting at the time. Like, 15 years old is still very young. Mm-hmm. And that's still the time where you figure out what's going on with you and how you see the world and how you view relationships. Like, and so him getting questioned like that as somebody who has had numerous experiences like that, yeah, he's going to be distant. But I don't think the parent is the asshole. I don't think the mom is the asshole. I don't think she's an asshole. I think it's just, this is actually a complex situation. I don't even think the dad was wrong for questioning and interrogating his son, but I also don't think
cornering your child and forcing them to come out when they probably haven't even fully accepted who they are is a huge no.
It's a huge no, but it's also one of those, like, it's I have a lot of sympathy for parents in that way.
I have sympathy for the mom.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have sympathy for the dad, just because you did corner your child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you went against your partner's wishes.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are in a partnership and you're raising a child together.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, when I came out to my dad and my stepmom, and I was like, hey, I like women too. And they go, yeah, I know. We've known for a minute. Mm-hmm. I was like, what do you mean? And they go, all of your female friends that you would tell us about. And I was like, oh, okay. They said you was a little too happy when you were talking about them. Mm-hmm. They're like, we tell who was your friend, who was your friend. And I was like, fair enough.
Being bisexual was weird because I confused the fuck out of my parents. Like, I would, like, there was this one time, my mom thought I was trans when I was younger, actually. Because there was this one time I just one day just put 2 tennis balls in my shirt and was just like, and she was just like, she pulled me aside. She said, honey, do you want to be a girl? do you want to be a girl? And I was like, no, Mom, what do you mean? She was like, I just saw,
oh my God.
I was just,
I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it. If my mom did that to me, I would have just looked at her and been like,
do you want to be a boy?
No.
Like
I couldn't have been able to keep a straight face with my mom if my mom came up to me like that, because I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It was just, I don't know. I feel like that's such it may not be the most normal thing for a 10-year-old boy to do, but I really just was very fascinated by boobs, and boobs are still to this day.
I mean, boobs are fascinating.
Boobs are great.
Boobs are great.
So like, I don't know.
Top comment on this is not the asshole. Yeah, your husband screwed the pooch big time. Your suggestion to wait on your son. Your suggestion to wait until your son was comfortable with coming out on his own in his own way was the correct course of action. Your husband, despite his pleas of innocence, betrayed your trust and your son's privacy. He has created a terrible rift in the family, and it is him that has to fix it between you and your son. He created the mess. He needs to clean it up. You need to go to your husband with this, and if he doesn't straighten it out, he will be spending the night, a lot of cold nights this winter.
I think there's something to be said about. So the reason why when I said I have sympathy for parents, it's only I really have sympathy for parents who apologize, because people make mistakes. Like, it is entirely possible that he made a mistake cornering his son because it was such a big thing and he really just wanted to know. But I urge a lot of parents just to really, like, there is value in being like, hey, I fucked up. I shouldn't have did that to you. I never should have came to you like that. I love you regardless. Like, it really is about having a conversation.
That's why I brought up the story where I said, when I came out, my parents looked at me and go, yeah, we know. But I say that because my parents knew. They just looked at me and were like, yeah, she a little gay. She a little gay. And they just let me rock until I felt comfortable telling them. Mind you, I don't know why it took me 20 years. My uncle I literally grew up with a gay uncle. Oh my God. First of all,
uncle.
when he found out that I was bi, first of all, I thought he knew. I thought it was just a thing that we knew because we always talked about pride and everything like that.
And the gays know the gays.
Thank you. So I thought he knew. He didn't know. He was unaware. We were driving back for a baseball game and we were talking about something with pride. And I was like, well, yeah, you got to know your gay history. And he was like, your herstory, baby. I said, exactly. I was like, you have your history and then you got your herstory. I said, you got to know all aspects of who you are as a person. And he was like, exactly. I was like, that's why I take so much pride in knowing all of these things. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, because I'm a little gay. And he goes, I have a gay niece. And I was like, you have a bi niece, but yeah.
Yeah.
He was so excited. So then he went even deeper. He got me pride socks.
Do you still have them?
No, I don't know where I lost them. But no, you know, like the stereotypical, like, parent thing whenever their kid comes out as bi or gay or any part of the LGBTQ,
yeah.
You get the pride socks. It's just like a standard thing. You get rainbow socks and you get rainbow socks. And
I'm still waiting on mine, but still waiting on my rainbow socks. Most I got was, oh my God, I told you my coming out story, right? I don't know if we have time for that, but we can wait another day on that one.
Yeah.
But, but I have a couple. Coming out. I've had to come out 4 times because my mom forgot that I came out to her, and then like, how do you forget?
I'm sorry, your mom forgot.
See, no, because the first time she took it really well, and then the second time she started crying, and I was just like,
you already know this.
Like, I told you already. It was anyway. But anyway, no, not the asshole.
No,
the dad's the ass. The dad's an asshole, but he has time to change. You know, I'm always open to. I feel like a lot of it has to do with.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at the fact that your mom cried because you had to come out to her twice.
Yeah. I've lived the life.
Completely off topic, but on topic. You know the thought that always comes into my head whenever I'm talking about us?
Mm-hmm.
When I was trying to get you laid in college with those girls, and then I ended up going home.
Yeah. Mrs. Still Your Girl, yes. Very much. And it was crazy because I cheered her on. I was like, yes. Yes, go be gay tonight. Have fun. And then I went home to my dorm and just went to sleep. I didn't get any type of action in college. Like, I really didn't.
You know what's sad? All of my action came from like my last year and a half.
You know what? That's yeah.
Can you imagine if I had been single the entire time?
I don't know. I feel like you would have got burnt out. Like after the first 2 years of being a massive whore. I'm not saying she was a massive whore. I'm just saying like that's what college is for. Just exploring your sexuality, fucking everybody, and then after a while being like, this is getting old. I need to graduate. Like
okay. So this next one is off my chest.
Okay.
I'm a straight man who has been sleeping with my gay friend and pretending to be gay. Are you okay? Do you need context?
No.
Well, there is a story here. So.
No, I'm just saying that's actually a thing.
It is.
No. Like that is actually a thing because a lot of your favorite gay porn stars are actually straight men.
Yep.
Like
they get paid bags to take dick in the ass. I may mute that one a little bit, but
bottoming is so much fucking work. I don't know. Like, you better be getting paid for it. Like, at this point, like,
I have questions.
Save them for later because I have questions too, and I have answers. It's probably too many.
Don't traumatize me.
All right.
I don't want to be traumatized.
Yes, she does.
A little bit. Okay. 26, male, broke up with my girlfriend of 6 years after I found out she was cheating on me with my coworker. This was a really hard breakup for me, and I was in an extremely dark place at the time. A day or two after, my friend, 23 male, invited me over for drinks and a movie to help keep my mind off of the break. Excuse me. We both got really drunk and I couldn't drive home. I don't know what I was thinking, but one thing led to another, and I ended up sleeping with him. I don't know why I let this happen. I'm not at all attracted to men, and I wasn't attracted to him that night. I just wanted something physical. The next morning, I freaked out a bit inside and left super early. He texted me and asked if I was okay sooner after, and I just told him I was hungover. I was freaking out all day, and I could not stop panicking. He is my only real friend, and I was terrified of having no one. He texted again that everything, asking how I was feeling, and I said I was doing better and wanted to talk in person. He invited me over. I was kind of hoping that it would feel pretty normal and we could pretend like nothing happened. But he was really flirty and touchy as soon as I got there. He honestly has always kind of been, though, and I thought it might just be too emotional right now to really judge the situation. I couldn't bring myself to mention it, and we ended up playing Xbox together for a while. Afterwards, he made a move and kissed me. I was still panicking and just kind of went along and let him do what he wanted, which was, of course, led to sex. I knew then that I had ruined my chances to explain and try to repair things. After he had finished, he said that he had a crush on me for most of our friendship and was super happy that something was finally happening. It's been 3 months since then. I have gone along with it. We have sex probably 3 to 5 times a week, but other than that, the kissing, the best parts of our friendship are still there for now. He asked me to go public with our relationship, but I told him I couldn't come out right now because of my religious family. I don't know if I can keep that going or not. Sex has gotten easier, or at least I'm better at acting. I still hate feeling like I'm leaking out of my ass all day. I hate the taste of cum. I hate having to make excuses for why I can't stay hard. But for now, at least I still have my friend. There is an edit, and I will read it to you after your initial thoughts.
That's your boyfriend. That's your boyfriend. Like, so I have so many questions.
3 months is a wild time to be faking.
That's a relationship.
Yeah.
But So like you're like reverse DL. Like I don't understand. Like like I don't. So okay. So on a serious note, I feel like this is a very kind of messed up kind of relationship, only because your friend the friend is kind of using you, like in a sense of like you're using him for emotional intimacy, and he's using you, or he's taking advantage of the very dark place that you're in. Like, like I feel like taking advantage of
Hold on, I have to read this comment to you. Top comment is, that's 30 to 60 rounds of penetrated gay sex. You're really committed to the bit, my dude.
Very. Yeah. I just feel this is a joke. This has got to be a joke. But but no, like you kind of like you're both taking advantage of each other. This is not gonna go well. And then the interesting thing is about the religious part. Like you're probably just very much inundated with a lot of religious trauma, and you're actually you might be pretty bisexual. Like, and by pretty I mean very. Like,
so OP said, still a better love story than Twilight.
Is it though? Is this really a better love story than Twilight?
Oh my God, this gets even worse if somebody goes condoms. OP replies, we use them sometimes. The trade-off is he's pretty quick without them, but it takes much longer with one.
You're also bottoming. So like, that's your boyfriend. Like, you're taking dick. Like
So somebody comments and goes, I hate that everyone here is trying to label your sexuality instead of seeing how it is. You are afraid of being alone, that you do whatever you can not to be alone. She broke your heart and he is using you. You lost your love. You don't want to lose your friend. I really hope that you'll see that it not only affects your mental state, but also your physical state. If you continue to force yourself to do it, you will not enjoy sex anymore, because every time you close your eyes, you will think about it. I really hope that you'll understand that you are better off being alone now than being lonely after. I wish you find strength out of this circle.
And that's some real shit. Like that's some real shit. Like because it's a little predatory of the friend to take advantage of somebody.
Two nights
after they broke up.
A 6-year relationship, that is definitely predatory. But on top of that, like, so part of me has empathy for the friend because he does think that something is happening. So while it is kind of manipulative and like it's manipulative.
Yeah.
I do still feel bad for him in some sense, because in all reality, and I'm not saying that this is the case here, he is a piece of the OP needs to just get out of this. I agree with that comment. In reality, it is a thing in a lot of relationships and gay relationships that people are still fronting as straight. And will have like whatever the opposite sex is for them as a partner. And then they will also have their like sneaky link on the down low that is.
Yeah.
So it is a thing in relationships like that and everything. But I hate to say they are in a relationship.
Yeah.
That's a relationship, my guy.
See, it's weird because I would have these two are what, 23? The friend
20.
They're in their early 20s. I would actually have advice for both of them. And like in the sense of, for the friend, I would like, yes, not only are you being used, but you're also kind of being unfair to your friend by constantly, putting yourself in a position to give them an idea of something that you actually don't want. But at the same time, being gay is hard.
Being gay is very hard.
Being gay is hard, and finding love as a queer person is even harder at times. And so, like, it is very easy to get attached to an idea of something that you think you deserve or that you think you'll never have.
And then it does kind of cause some toxicness in that sense.
Yeah.
So the edit is, thanks everyone for your advice. I wasn't really looking for anyone I posted. I was probably just going to let it go until it blew up. But I think this has helped me a lot, and I plan to tell him now. I told myself I'd do it Saturday because he's got a job interview tomorrow, and I don't want to stress him out beforehand. I'll post an update and let everyone know how it goes. Wish you luck. So let me actually go see if there is an update.
Oh, okay.
So the update is, sorry guys, I know this is late. I have been really stressed and depressed and didn't want to talk about this. But anyways, here it goes. So I wasn't supposed to say anything until after his interview, but I fucked up Thursday night. I was over at his place watching TV, and he started getting physical. A few minutes into it, I just broke down sobbing, and he got off of me. Took me a few minutes to pull myself together enough to talk, but I basically told him I didn't feel attracted to him, that I hadn't said anything about it because our friendship means too much to me and I didn't want to damage it. I could tell he was hurt and confused, which broke my heart. We talked for a while, but I didn't mention anything about being vulnerable after my breakup or feeling like he took advantage of me, like many of you said. I don't want to put any blame on him. I don't know, maybe there's some truth there, but I don't think it would have helped. He is mad at me right now, and I asked if he thought we could still be friends, and he said he needed time to think. And I get that. I don't think it'll work. I'm really scared that he'll decide it's not worth it. I hope I did the right thing.
You couldn't hold it in anymore. I don't think
that he should be mad at him though.
It's more, it's like, I think it's not even you whether or not he should be mad. I just think that it's a,
well, I shouldn't say
it makes sense. I feel like I've been both of these people, but not like totally, not like an exact. I've been the person.
I'm thinking where you would be OP in a very specific scenario with a very specific person because it's a very specific thing that actually happened.
Well, yeah. I've been the person who is, again, what stuck out to me from this story is that he comes from a religious background. And something about coming from a religious background, it's like, you can be, I know for me, I was very afraid of intimacy. Like, from just in general, because I was, taught about premarital sex, not having it and everything like that. So what? But like, I actually, but like, no, like I had a lot of, what's apprehension? Listen, no. I had a lot of apprehension towards being intimate with anyone. Like, because even when I was dating women, it was the same reaction to both men and women. Like, I could not perform PDA, just could not with either one for a while. It didn't take me until college. Why are you smiling?
Just because it makes so much sense.
Yeah, like, and college it wasn't until I got to college when I got away from everybody, got away from my parents, got away from my hometown. Well, this is my hometown, but I'm originally from somewhere else. But like, it's when I could have the space to explore different things that
you could almost reinvent yourself.
Like, reinvent myself. That's the only time I could do that. And I think for OP, he really just does not have the opportunity to do that because he just got off a breakup. So you don't even have the time to think about anything else other than your pain and your hurt. And, like, he probably just needs the space to be single and to be free and to work on himself. Now, on the other hand, I've also been the queer person who has been in love with somebody who was not comfortable with their sexuality. And it sucks. It is
Been there, done that.
It's a horrible experience because you have sympathy for the person that you're dealing with, but it also hurts you, but you also don't want to lose them. So it's like, or at least that was my experience. I didn't want
My girlfriend broke up with me because she didn't want her grandma finding out that she was gay. And then asked me for money for her child like 5 years later.
What do you even do with that?
She also tried to gaslight me into thinking that it was my child. Please, if you can understand how I, without a penis,
that's some grade A gaslighting,
can impregnate another woman, please let me know.
Well, there are ways.
There are ways, but I would have to be aware of them. There would be a lot of.
There are ways.
There are ways now. 5 years ago? Well, no. I was 14 when that happened. So I was 19 when she tried to gaslight me into thinking it was her child.
19-year-olds are kind of horrible, aren't they? Like
anything before 23,
like just terrible people. Like
I was not a good person.
But I will say, this last thing, it's not only is it like I think you don't when you're like in love with someone that's not comfortable with their sexuality, you don't realize that you are kind of using them. And I think that he was just kind of excited to finally have something, but what it really is emotional unavailability. So you know,
as a guy who has had, so this is top comment. As a guy who has had crushes on many straight guy friends before, believe me, you did him a huge favor. Yeah, maybe you let this go a bit too long, but better now than never. Being in an intimate relationship with someone who is not sexually or physically attractive to me would have really messed with my head. So good on you to tell that you told him now and didn't let this go any longer. You're also going through some emotions right now, so meditate, work out, go to therapy, but it'll all work out for you. You may not want to stay friends after this, so my advice is to focus on yourself, your needs. Being lonely is nothing to be afraid of. You'll learn so much about yourself and attract the right type of people that way. Keep your head up and don't do anything you're not comfortable with anymore. Please keep going. Please keep to people in your life is far more destructive than the well-being of loneliness itself.
I feel like this is one of those things of this friendship could be saved. It will just have to take a few years though. Like I feel like they could reconnect in a few years to just be like, yeah, you did me a favor. And yeah, like,
yeah, but I think that there needs to be some space right now,
sure. Yeah,
because
there's no,
OP was doing something that he kind of was coerced into, which is a whole different thing.
Yeah, well, he was drunk too, right?
Mm-hmm. They were both drunk the first time, and then the second time he didn't feel comfortable saying no.
Yeah.
So that kind of also goes into some other territories. That
goes into hypersexuality. That goes into like, you know, because I'm pretty sure maybe it's entirely possible. Dubious consent is a thing. It's entirely possible that, you know, the friend didn't realize how uncomfortable somebody, like, you know. I mean, it's a
real possibility that he can't pick up on social cues.
Yeah. Watch out for people's body language when you're about to get intimate with them.
And if you're like me and don't do that, just learn.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but you're able to at least pick up on like, find a cue that you can like physically see.
Mm-hmm. Body language. Sorry.
So this next one is off of Best of Redditor updates. This one reminds me of you. So original posts. So mood for this one is, and this is a concluded one, weirdly wholesome but awkward.
Okay.
That is you in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So the original post was, today I fucked up telling my dad I, 20 male, have never had sex.
Look. Wait, how do you fuck up telling what?
He fucked up by telling his dad. A few days ago, I decided to visit my dad at his house. It was his birthday. I showed up with wine. We got a little drunk, maybe more than a little. When my dad was done going on and on about how much he missed my mom since she divorced him, he changed the subject and focused on my love life. He asked if I had had a girlfriend, and I said no. He asked if I've ever had a girlfriend because he's never seen me with a girl. I said never. My dad poured the last drop of wine in my glass and asked if I was still a virgin. I was tempted to lie, but I paused too long, so I said yes. My dad said I had no reason to feel ashamed about my virginity, but encouraged me to have as much sex as possible before I ended up married to a person whose vagina comes with an impenetrable encryption.
What the bloody fuck?
I ignored the obvious reference to my mom's you-know-what and called it a night. I asked my dad if I was allowed to sleep in the spare bedroom because I didn't want to drive home drunk. My dad said I was more than welcome. I must have been sleeping for less than an hour before I woke up to the sound of my dad knocking on the door. I don't remember what I mumbled as I opened my eyes, but the moment my dad heard my voice, he entered my room with another person. It was a girl. My dad introduced her by name, but did the air quotes thing with his fingers to imply that it was a fake name. I could tell my dad was still drunk. Exhibit A. He continued making the air quote gesture even when it was no longer necessary. Not gonna lie, I was still drunk too, but not drunk enough to disregard the weird fucking shit that was happening. Without giving me proper time to react, my dad quickly said the girl knew exactly what to do before closing the door on his way out. The girl did not know what to do. She did nothing other than awkwardly waiting for me to say something. Eventually, I asked her what was going on, and she said my dad hired her to sleep with me. I died of embarrassment, especially when the girl asked me to explain if I was on the zero experience or some experience in the virgin spectrum. Without thinking, I said I was gay. It was the first time I actually said it out loud. The girl sat down on the bed and asked if I was a top or bottom. Oh, I'm not done. This still continues on. I shrugged and said, I don't know yet. My face must have been so red in that moment. The girl said if I was willing to shower, she would basically be willing to motorboat my butt. To be honest, I considered it. I'm human. I'm horny. However, the situation was way too weird for me to be completely comfortable with doing something that sexual with someone I didn't know at all.
I mean, she is getting paid. I already paid her.
Thank you. I said thank you, but no thank you. The girl apologized for my dad putting both of us in an awkward position. She said she understood and for some reason thought it was necessary to mention that my dad was one of their regular customers. She made it clear for the record that she had never had sex with my dad, but explained that some of her older coworkers at the escort service really enjoyed spending time with him. She said she can't wait to tell the other sex workers that she met me because apparently my dad loves to talk about his son while he pays people to fuck. I was not psychologically prepared for all of the unexpected discussion regarding my dad's sex life.
I'm not psychologically prepared for this shit. What the
This second half of the story is what made me think of you, okay? The update.
I'm scared.
The girl had a severe case of motor mouth. When she finally stopped talking, I learned that my dad sleeps with sex workers who kind of look like my mom, and that women closing their eyes with too much food in their mouth and going, turns him on. The girl apologized for ambushing my good listening skills and asked if there was something she could do for me. I said she could keep my sexuality between the two of us. She said her lips were sealed until the time comes to suck cock. My dad was passed out in the living room when we approached the front door. I went back to bed when the girl was gone and eventually fell asleep. The following morning, I confronted my dad. I said I didn't appreciate what he did and made sure he understood that he wasted money because nothing happened. My dad was apologetic and promised to never cross that line again, no matter how much alcohol is involved. Despite his apology, the mood was still somewhat tense. I decided to break the tension by closing my eyes and saying, while eating breakfast. The look on my dad's face was priceless. I lost my appetite soon afterwards because instantly regretted doing something that might arouse my father. You good? Do you want to know what the top comment is?
Yes.
Motorboat your butt? My goodness, bless her heart. That's a professional.
Yeah. All things considered, I probably would have been friends with her after this because, like, you know, you were nice enough to keep my secret.
There's an update. This is Best of Redditor updates. So there's a part 2.
So here's my thing. The dad isn't married to the mom, is he?
No, she divorced him.
Yeah, I see why. So my thing is, your dad got you a sex worker.
Because he said he was a virgin.
He said he was a virgin. I feel like this is probably one of the greatest coming out stories. Like, your dad's a piece of shit, but
going down in the herstory.
Oh my gosh, your dad's a piece of shit because first of all, that is your choice, but also.
Y'all need to get close for this one, okay? Who the fuck pays a sex worker to take their son's virginity?
You'd be surprised.
Oh, that's disturbing. That is so disturbing. Men, do better. Do better.
You'd be surprised. I've had uncles joke about getting me because I had my uncles joke about that. Window. But sorry.
What in the ADHD moment was that?
I just saw the yeah. I saw okay. Sorry, I got distracted. But in all seriousness though, so my thing is, what exactly did this is so fucked up.
So somebody goes, yeah, you didn't fuck up. Sounds like you handled yourself. Bull in the face of others fucked up. OP responds with, the fact that drunk me was in control at the time makes me wonder if sober me would have handled the situation better or worse.
It's the fact that she said, yeah, your dad is one of our regular customers. That's, you know what? Hold up. Is there not like a confidentiality clause that you're supposed to have? No?
They're sex workers.
But I feel like
they're escorts.
Would that not? But that's
not necessarily.
You know what?
Maybe she's not good at her job.
Yeah, she doesn't sound very good at her job, but she doesn't. I mean, she's a professional, like, but like, not that. Like, be more professional, like, because I don't trust. So if I'm coming out to you as gay, and you're saying, yeah, you know, your dad is one of my customers, one of my
not one of hers.
Oh, one of her
coworkers.
See, that's even worse. Because why are you fucking up your girl's bag? Like, what? We are not supposed to know that y'all be fucking. Like, not supposed to know.
It's shit. At the end for me when he does it.
Listen, my problematic trait is that I kink shame. What exactly are you imagining that she's
It's the
but you know what, the part that I totally get that part reminds you, because I probably would do some shit like that. Be like, oh, I hope I didn't just turn my dad on.
You would do something where you would hear something and you're like, well, this is awkward. And then you'd immediately think about it. You'd be like, why the fuck did I do that?
You're gonna need lots of therapy.
Therapy will be a thing.
But no, prostitutes. I'm sorry, not prostitutes. Sex workers. I thought there was confidentiality, because, like, if I come out to you and tell you that I'm gay, you are already telling my dad's business. What makes you think that you won't tell mine?
So the title of the update is, today I fucked up expecting a sex worker to keep what happened between us private. The inevitable happened. The sex worker my dad hired to terminate my virginity in the deal in the dead of night did not keep her mouth shut. I know. I should have seen it coming. When I shared my original post, I was convinced my dad didn't know I was gay. I never said anything to anyone about my sexuality other than to the sex worker who tempted me who teamed up with my father to unexpectedly put me in a vulnerable position. My dad and I have been avoiding each other since that night. Not gonna lie, I was okay with that. We needed space. The words divorced dad, virgin son, and sex worker should never have been put in the same sentence. This morning, my dad showed up at my apartment. Unusual, but not surprising. He was courteous enough to call beforehand, asked if I was available, said he wanted to talk. I assumed he was still feeling bad about ambushing me with a sex worker and wanted to make sure that our relationship was intact. Little did I know that my dad's primary objective was to establish if his 20-year-old son was sexually attracted to other people's 20-year-old sons. As soon as my dad made himself at home in my living room, he asked if we were alone. I said my roommate was at the gym. My dad's response was to drop the following line: sharing an apartment with a guy who works out must be motivating. Slow clap. Subtle as fuck, my father. He didn't even need to wink at the camera.
I want a TV show with you. Like this is hilarious.
My dad asked if my roommate had a girlfriend. I implied that he has girls that come and go. My dad said my roommate must be handsome to get so much attention. I shrugged and said, or he's paying for it. It was a joke, an uncomfortable joke based on my dad's disturbed expression. My dad said he could explain the sex workers and answer all of my questions if I was prepared to listen. I said it was none of my business and he didn't owe me an explanation, but I did suggest that he at least consider therapy. My dad said he was proud of the person I become and promised to think about my suggestion. As wholesome as that moment was, the gay elephant was still in the room. So I awkwardly asked my dad if he recently communicated with the sex worker he hired to sleep with me. My dad said no, because he wanted to respect my privacy and avoid crossing the line again. Based on all the random references to my roommate's attractiveness, I was convinced my dad heard I was gay from one of the other sex workers, who heard it from the sex worker with the motor mouth. We danced around the topic of my sexuality for a little longer because it was still a big moment despite all the weird shit that happened last time my dad and I were under the same roof. I eventually came out and said, "Dad, I'm gay." My dad stood up and showed me he was wearing socks with rainbow stripes to celebrate the news. I didn't even notice his socks until he lifted the leg of his pants. He said it was a gift from the sex workers. He had another pair of rainbow socks in his pockets, which he gave me when we were done hugging. I suppose the outcome could have been worse. I doubt there will be another update, so thank you for riding this wave with me.
What's the top comment?
This whole exchange is like a sitcom.
This is a fucking movie. Like this is a pilot. This is a grade A pilot episode.
No, because somebody else goes, so he didn't hire a gay sex worker for you?
Exactly. That was my next question. Like, damn. And how is he more supportive than the fucking dad that was in the last story or one of the previous stories that interrogated his 15-year-old son? Like, this. Listen. And he. So what do you think? Because I really feel like,
oh my god, this is so fucking funny. This is like the funniest coming out story I've ever heard.
Yeah, this is great. Like, this is a top tier great coming out
OP
story.
Needs to be a writer. This shit is fucking hilarious.
But my thing is, so
every time I think of this story, I think about motorboating and butt.
So do you think, was the dad wrong?
He was wrong for the sex worker.
Yes.
But he understood in the morning. He was like, Yeah. Drunk me. It's like the whole saying where it's like drunk me shouldn't be in charge of my credit card. What dumb purchases did I make when I was drunk?
You know what? Yeah. But or also drunk. For me, it was before I got in a relationship. It was take my phone because I'm going to drunk text
Everybody.
Everyone. She's gotten drunk texts from me. Like my current boyfriend, who used to be my best friend, got a bunch of drunk messages from me. Like, like, oh my God. But in all seriousness, though, yeah, he was wrong.
What was my drunk thing? Because it wasn't taking my phone.
It was a couple of things. I'm not gonna lie. It was okay. We're not gonna fight her today. We're not gonna walk home barefoot today.
Did do that one a lot.
You're not driving, so we're.
I didn't really drive when I was drunk.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
I walked home a lot alone.
You did because everything was right there in Frostburg. But I remember you driving the minivan at like. You don't remember? Maybe it was one time. I don't know. I might be misremembering. College was a blur. I was drunk all the time.
I was gonna say I never had a minivan.
You didn't have a minivan?
No.
What car were you driving?
Mazda.
A Mazda?
I was driving a stick shift, so I was not driving drunk.
Oh.
I was walking home drunk. I was walking barefoot
you know
drunk.
What? I was drunk. So but no, okay, so scratch that. But yeah, no, we're not gonna fight her.
That's a fair one.
Usually, you went home with people. I was just like, go ahead. As long as you go home. College was a time. But I really like that story. I honestly, I actually really, but the whole pride, like, can I be honest?
I'm gonna buy you rainbow socks now.
But I was just gonna say, is a rainbow really aesthetically pleasing?
Oh God, no.
No, rainbows are ugly. Rainbows are
a pastel rainbow, yes, but like a normal rainbow, no. However, that's not the point.
It's not the point. It is not the point.
The point is, I'm gonna get you rainbow socks and I'm gonna throw them at your head now.
Yeah, because I don't have any. I don't really have a lot of pride shit. Like,
I don't either.
I don't really have a lot of pride shit. I have the buttons, like the little pins, but no.
I don't even have
Happy Pride, but I don't have any pride shit.
I think I don't have anything for pride. I do my makeup. I have like rainbow shit usually.
Shit, we're fake gays, just like the guy in that last story. Kudos to being fake gay.
We're not actually fake gay. You have a whole ass boyfriend.
Who?
I will clip that and send it to him.
I love you, baby. I love you.
I'll clip that and send it to him so fucking fast. I'll stir the pot just to stir the pot.
I love you, baby.
And he's a Scorpio. He's a fucking Capricorn, so his ass is crazy.
He's not as crazy as I am as a Scorpio.
Yeah, you are the Scorpio.
I am the Scorpio. Sometimes I think he's the Scorpio, to be honest.
I want to do his full chart.
Ooh.
Anyways, that's all we have for you today.
This was fun.
This was a lot of fun.
Invite me back, fake ass bitch. No, okay. No, this is one of my best friends, you guys. This is one of my best friends in the entire world.